So we are at the studio today with David Henty. So welcome.
Hello. Hello.
It's a pleasure to have you around today.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. What a lovely gallery.
Yeah, thank you. And we wanted to obviously present some of your new work, so about to be out there in our website. Will you let us know what is now making you move more into the Basquiat?
The Basquiat, well, he's very colourful, and I've loved his work for a long, long time, and I've done quite a few, but the last few months I've really looked into him and watched all the videos and watched him and Andy Warhol and researched him, very deep research, and this was his £110 million painting.
Wow.
The original is actually bigger,
Right.
but I scaled it down just so it goes on your wall nicely.
Nice.
And it was great fun painting, and I just love him. You know, he's very expressive.
Yes, it is indeed. And also, like, there's quite a lot of movement now around the street art. And colourful. We just want happy paintings, like very expressive, not necessarily always detailed, right? So you're kind of varying.
Well, it's a nice, from doing a Modigliani, which is a bit more studied, or a Lowry, to doing something like this, you can really let yourself go, you know. And it doesn't matter. Sometimes you can just throw the paint on and then carve it out, and then you can have great fun with it.
Right.
I've done a few big ones, massive ones, and they've been so much fun, you know, because you get a big brush and.
Is it the bigger the better?
Yeah. Well, the bigger the more expensive.
As well. Well, it's more special, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think they've got real wall impact. So when you walk in a room, you know, you can't take your eyes off it. It's like a magnet, you know, because there's nothing else like it, really.
A talking piece.
Yeah.
You would say. What about, so what is the feedback you are getting from your Modiglianis, for example?
The Modiglianis, that people love him, you know, and I love him. He's got a fantastic backstory.
The colours, I love the colours.
Yeah, the muted colours, the African influence. You can see the influence from Picasso and him. Went to the museum in Paris when they had an African exhibition, and that's where they both got a lot from it. But yeah, I love him. You know, I don't know if you know his story. It's a tragic story. He died at 37. He had TB, so he used to self-medicate with hashish and different things. He was always drunk most of the time. But he slept with all his models. But his favourite model was Jeanne, who was supposed to be his wife. And she was 21 and 9 months pregnant with a second child by him. And when he died, she jumped out the window, a fifth floor window, 2 days later and killed herself.
Oh, no.
And they're buried together in the famous cemetery in Paris.
Wow, I didn't know that part of the story.
Yeah, no, it's a tragedy. Once you know the story, and that one over there, which you might not be able to see, is Lena.
So you can see.
Yeah, that's Lena. But that was one of his models that he was very close to as well. I should have got this, shouldn't I? Yeah,
maybe we can even like race to that. I'm not sure.
Yeah. But Lena, he was very close to her as well. So he was a real bohemian, you know.
Yes, that's what we like as well.
Yeah.
That in connection with all the nature and self-reflection and deep thinkers.
Well, he used to sell his work for nothing. He used to be in the Rotund in Paris, the famous restaurant and bar. And they wouldn't want to buy his work because it wasn't popular at the time. But when he died, Picasso and all his friends, Jean Cocteau and loads of others, all went to the funeral. But the dealers were there, and the paintings were changing hands at extravagant prices, you know.
Wow, incredible.
Yeah.
So, David, I wanted to ask you, so how open are you to commissions? Like, do you enjoy taking your commissions? Is there anything impossible for you to do as a commission?
Well, I love a challenge. So nothing's impossible, but it depends really if I've got an affinity with the artist. If I like the artist, I'll take the commission on. If I can't, I did a Frida Kahlo once, and for some reason I just couldn't. It was a commission. I couldn't connect. I couldn't find any, any rapport with her. So I did it. But it was really hard work, and so now I know that I've got to really, like Basquiat, I've got to really like the artist. Or I love doing these Modiglianis, so I've really got to have a rapport with the artist. And then I'm happy to do it.
So, who would you say are your top 4 favourites?
Today?
Today, tomorrow you can change, of course.
Well, Caravaggio is my favourite, but not everyone wants severed heads and and these big dark paintings. Basquiat is really, I've been really looking into him, and I love doing him. So it's a real pleasure to do him. He's always, Modigliani, he's just one of my, I connect with him, and I find him, there's something there, I've done so many. I was just saying to your husband, Ashley, I can just do his signature, and I can just, his colour palette, and I can just do it out of my head. And the same with Lowry. I love Lowry, and I've got to do a live painting session.
Would you like to tell us a story about this particular
one? Oh, this one here. Well, I did this on the One Show. What I did was I did a massive Picasso, and I thought, when they come, I'll do the paint the Picasso, and they said, oh no, we can't do the Picasso because the Picasso don't like you doing it, so we get in trouble. So I thought, oh, what am I going to do? So I got this canvas. That's an old canvas, and they just filmed me, and I painted it live. So that one there was as done on the One Show.
Wow, incredible! I mean, stories for days. Well, would you like to say anything else to people who follow you? Do you want to defend yourself in any way about potential people thinking that copying is not an art, or there's no art to it? Or?
No, it is an art. I mean, it's,
We know it's an art.
Yeah, it's an art.
That's
it's an art form.
But obviously.
But that's how you used to learn. In the old days, Rembrandt and stuff, they used to copy the masters to learn how to paint. And then when you were good enough, you could pass for master, then you could go and get your own school and sell under your own name. So I'm no different from, this is how I learned, by copying artists. And then, like Modigliani, I can do one I can do one out of my head. Basquiat, I can do one out of my head. Lowry, I can do, because once you've done so many and you've copied closely, you can
That's the artistry, isn't it?
and then you can just paint in that style. Yeah, and it's great, and I love it, and
fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I like to be controversial.
I know you do. But that's great.
Yeah.
I was also thinking, how do you do for colours and techniques and materials, and because it blows my mind that you can change from one medium to another, and then even though there might be oils, like the palette is infinite, isn't it?
Yeah,
is your studio like?
I mean, I've done Banksy's with a spray can.
Have you?
Yeah.
Nice.
I've done these. Are always, he used to paint in acrylic and oil stick. So the funny thing was when there was one I did for a show years ago, a Vice video, and they wanted to test it. But the forensic people said, no, we can't test it because they're modern materials. Yeah. So they refused to take that, and they had to take something else. So I thought, oh, they can't test.
Trying to find the
yeah. But no, I prefer oil. My main medium is oil, because it's so you can work into it and you can use it, and but acrylic is great.
Now I have to ask, sorry, have you ever got in trouble? And if you have many, just choose one.
I've been in trouble quite a few times. Is there any? For what? For painting?
Of like someone saying, "Oh, I don't know."
Yeah. I mean, I had a painting years ago. I had a little painting that I gave out. It was on the back of a book, and I copied the illustration, a Picasso, and it ended up in an auction for £1 million. And but. So there was a little inscription on the back because what was his name? His friend who wrote the book. He lives 15 miles down the road. I can't remember his name.
That would sound like it.
Yeah, so I put a little inscription on the back from Pablo, and ended up in an auction for £1 million. So I had to tell him it's not.
No, so how do you sign that? Because you can see the signature of the artist. Obviously, it's part of the art. But equally, it's yours. So how can we know, or people can rest assured that?
Yeah. Well, I sign them on the back, if you ask me to.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, thank you so much, David. It's been a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure. Come back every month, please.
And good luck with the new gallery. So nice. Thank you.
Pleasure to have you here.
Thank you very much.